And here I was thinking that the only news I could bring you today is that I had rolled credits on Mind's Eye, and I would highly recommend you to steer clear of that one, keeping your hard-earned $60 or more in your pockets. But this news, yeah, this is way better. Very quietly, it looks like Sony has now backed off of the front lines of the infamous region lock war. And at least from the info that is slowly coming to light, again, we have no official statements made here by Sony, but the information here is the news we've all been waiting for. If you feel like supporting the channel, the easiest and free way is to hit subscribe and to ring the notifications bell to receive my future upload alerts. We also have channel memberships. For those of you looking to take your support to the next level, just look for the join button on my YouTube channel and click it. And with that, let's get into the latest Sony Helldivers news. First up, I wanted to say sorry. I wanted to post a video earlier on this. I had my eyes on this, and unfortunately, I was swamped in back-to-back IRL job meetings. It was driving me nuts because I wanted to be the first one out there with this information. Alas, I am not, but better late than never because this is massive information. I'm going to loop in now the GamePost.com's article. I think they're one of the first to actually post this information to the internet. I think all the gaming sites are going to start following suit after this because this is massive news. Again, we have no official statement from Sony. This is just what these sites are starting to piece together along with gamers and consumers out there that are seeing the changelogs on SteamDB, and I will show you that in a second. The headline here reads, Sony removes PC region locks from major PlayStation games on Steam. Also, I'll include a link to this down in the video description and pinned comments. And you know from my previous Helldivers content that I've been a champion for this, but I've also been following all of these nuanced changes that Sony has been making. For instance, I reported on it, I don't know, a few videos ago with one of my Helldivers videos, the massive shift that Sony had made with Stellar Blade, which, by the way, is setting all sorts of PC sales records and player count records, but they had changed it from requiring a PC PSN requirement and region locks to all of a sudden just kind of opening it up. They even tweeted about it. I reported on it again in a previous video. Here we are seeing Sony just kind of quietly go in and finally make a smart decision on this. Let's read through the article. Sony is finally lifting regional restrictions on its biggest PlayStation games for PC following the massive debut of Stellar Blade on Steam. Maybe Stellar Blade was the pebble that finally began this overwhelming avalanche of consumer backlash against Sony. I mean, we saw it again with the review bombs through Helldivers. Apparently that wasn't enough for Sony to come off of that draconian region lock, but here they are. For the past year, PC players around the world have been frustrated by Sony's approach to releasing its top PlayStation exclusives on Steam. When hits like God of War, I mean, that's a massive franchise, money printing machine, right? Marvel's Spider-Man 2, again, cash register of a game, and The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. There are more, by the way. Those are just the three that they're citing. Made the jump to PC. Fans in dozens of countries found out they couldn't even buy these games just because of where they live. Let's continue on. It says, Sony had quietly put region locks in place, blocking people in large parts of Africa, Asia, and South America from enjoying some of the biggest single-player games, even though these titles didn't require any PlayStation Network accounts or online features. Yeah, it didn't make sense to anyone out there. The backlash was huge. Of course, we saw the review bomb with Helldivers. Players called the move unfair, especially since many of these games didn't need an internet connection or any special login. Again, we don't know why Sony did it, but they did it. And here's where the article really lays into the latest news. It says, now it seems Sony is finally making some of its top games available in more countries on Steam, which you would have thought they would have done day one, release day. I mean, it's money. Sony lifts restrictions. More PlayStation PC games unlocked globally. It looks like Sony is finally listing. As of June 13th, so that's today, SteamDB, I'm going to show you this in a second, updates show that Sony has quietly removed region restrictions for a whole lineup of its biggest PC games. This is a huge move, since it means millions of new players now have official access to titles that were previously out of reach. For some people out there, they were using VPNs and creating accounts in areas they didn't live in, risking getting banned by the TOS or Terms of Service. So, yeah, now it's official. They can do it officially. These changes rolled out almost simultaneously across multiple PlayStation games on Steam. Let's continue on. In simple terms, you can now buy and play God of War Ragnarok, Marvel Spider-Man 2, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, and, listen to this out there, divers, Helldivers 2 on Steam in dozens of new countries. However, a few countries like Russia, Syria, and more still seem to be restricted. Continuing on, they reference here Stellar Blade. They say Stellar Blade's launch on PC earlier this month turned out to be a massive success. The game saw a huge spike in popularity, hitting a peak of over 183,000 concurrent, watch this, players on Steam. And if I remember correctly, Helldivers either hit a concurrent of 435 or 453,000 on Steam, so over double that of Stellar Blade. And then they finish up, which was an impressive number for a single player title. I'm going to click on these images here so you can see these. They've got the change logs here for God of War Ragnarok. You can see all these countries have now been removed from the PC region locks on Steam. Here's Helldivers 2. Yo, look at that. That's incredible. I'm going to go get the full shot here on Steam in a second. We've also got, what is it, Spider-Man 2. Great to see. And The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. So all of these countries, all of these games have simultaneously had all of these PC region locks for Steam removed. That's incredible news. Let's finish up the article. It says, it's worth noting that the region lock for Stellar Blade was lifted before launch, and seeing just how well the game performed may have played a big role in Sony's decision. I would argue against that statement because I've already talked about the fact that Helldivers, when it launched onto Steam PC, was over double the concurrent player counts of Stellar Blade. No shade on Stellar Blade. Yeah, the game is certainly selling well. It's performing well. I hear nothing but positives about it, but Helldivers doubled that of Stellar Blade. They go on to finish with, this update is a big win for PC gamers who've felt left out for far too long. I 100% endorse that statement. It shows Sony is opening up its PC library and making it easier for fans everywhere to play its biggest hits. Does this mean we finally get the long-awaited prize waiting at the end of this Sony conflict, the vaunted and much-desired review bomb cape? Because we know Arrowhead has already teased it's ready. It's sitting right now in their files, and it could be dropped on us at any second. They just have to press go live. You've got to think so, though, right? I mean, this is a momentous day for Helldivers. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you think that cape drop is incoming, if you think it's inevitable, because, again, this is a glorious day for divers around the world. Here is the SteamDB page for Helldivers 2, showing all the countries and regions that have now been removed from those restrictions, leaving only 7 remaining, including Belarus, Cuba, Iran, North Korea, Russian Federation, Syria, and Vietnam. But here you go. It's better late than never, and I appreciate you sticking around and listening to me drop this breaking news. I mean, it's, again, awesome news for Helldivers. It's awesome news for fans of Kratos, fans of Stellar Blade, Spider-Man, Ellie, and more. Sony has finally relented and decided to open up the market. They decided to actually make a bunch more money than they were currently making and allow Steam PC players to play the games they want to play free of restrictions. It's been over a year. Nobody can accuse Sony of moving too quickly, but the day has finally arrived. Now, the next hurdle is Xbox. And when will those reinforcements be allowed to join our diver ranks? Remember to hit subscribe and ring that notifications bell to stay up to date on all things Helldivers. All my socials and links to today's sources can be found in the video description. A massive shout out goes out to our channel members. Without your support, content creation like this could not be possible. And until the next one, this is 𝗏𝗏𝐿tBuzzLitebeer signing off.